Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into something I think pretty much everyone learning English bumps up against: how to actually make new vocabulary stick. How to really remember it. It can feel like a constant struggle, can it? Especially with long lists of words.
Oh, absolutely. And that feeling of a word just vanishing or being right there on the tip of your tongue,
Yeah.
it's really common.
Yeah, so frustrating.
But it's so important to push through because vocabulary really is, well, it's the bedrock of communication, isn't it?
Totally. It's how you express your ideas, understand what others are saying.
Right. And even just enjoy things like books or movies in English.
It's like trying to paint without all the colors. A good vocabulary gives you the tools you need. It boosts your fluency.
Definitely reduces that hesitation when you're trying to speak or write.
Yeah, searching for the right word.
Uh-huh.
We've all been there. Solid vocabulary just smooths that out.
And it builds confidence, too. Knowing you can find the words makes a huge difference in how you approach things.
For sure. And it's not just speaking, is it? Reading, listening. It all gets easier.
Much easier. You're not constantly stopping, looking things up, mentally translating. You can just engage with the material.
Which opens up so many doors, really.
Exactly. Things like, better job prospects, making friends internationally, travel.
Yeah.
It all connects back to having that core vocabulary.
So, yeah, if vocabulary feels like your weak spot, you're definitely in the right place. We want to look beyond just, like, rote memorization.
Right. How to actually learn and remember words confidently.
Okay, so let's talk challenges first. What's the number one thing you hear from learners?
Oh, easily the biggest one is just how quickly words disappear. You learn it today.
Gone tomorrow.
Pretty much. And that's incredibly discouraging, Makes you feel like you're not making progress.
Yeah, it's like that leaky bucket image. All that effort feels wasted. And what about knowing a word but not being able to use it?
Ah, yes. The gap between passive recognition and active use, that's huge.
You see the definition, you think, okay, got it. But then forming a sentence.
It just freezes up. Yeah. And often that comes down to a lack of practice.
Right. If you don't use it, you lose it. Like an old phone number you never dial.
Exactly. The memory just fades. It becomes dormant.
And another thing, pronunciation uncertainty. Does that play a role?
It really does. It's an interesting block if you're not sure how to say a word.
You're hesitant to even try and memorize it properly.
Precisely. You won't say it out loud, maybe won't even hear it clearly in your head, and those things really help block it in.
I see. And what about just trying to learn too much at once? Information overload.
Oh, definitely. Trying to cram, say, 50 words in a day, that's just overwhelming for the brain.
Yeah. Not much sticks long-term that way.
And it can lead to confusion, too, especially with those tricky words that look or sound similar.
Like effect and effects.
Exactly. Those kinds of pairs. They need real focus.
Yeah, even native speakers mix those up sometimes.
True. And finally, let's not forget boredom. If the learning method is just dull.
Motivation just tanks.
Right. It becomes a chore, and then people give up.
Okay, so lots of familiar hurdles there. Forgetting, context issues, pronunciation, overload, similar words, boredom.
But the good news is there are ways around all of these. Fun ways, even.
Excellent. That's what we want to hear. So where do we start? What's a good first strategy to tackle these roadblocks?
Well, you can't really beat the classics sometimes. Flashcards, simple, but they work.
Old school. Word on one side, meaning on the other.
Yep. Or an example sentence, which is even better. And now, of course, you have digital options.
Like apps. Anki, Quizlet.
Exactly. Super convenient. You can review anywhere. Plus, they often have spaced repetition built in, which we should definitely talk more about.
Okay, cool. And I've heard adding pictures helps.
Yeah.
Visual learners.
Hugely helpful. Associating a word, like apple, with an actual image of an apple, that creates a really strong visual link in your brain. Strengthens the memory.
Makes sense. So visual cues. What else? You mentioned example sentences.
Yes, learning words in context. That's crucial. Instead of just memorizing run.
Like the definition. To move quickly on foot.
Right. Try learning it in a sentence. I run every morning. You see how it works.
So you understand its function, not just its meaning in isolation.
Exactly. And that leads naturally to just, consuming more English.
Yeah.
Reading, listening.
Books, articles, podcasts.
Yeah.
Like this one.
TV shows, movies. You just absorb vocabulary naturally by seeing and hearing words used in loads of different situations.
You start noticing patterns, right?
Yeah.
And nuances.
Absolutely. It's organic learning. Now, about that spaced repetition I mentioned.
Right. You said the apps use it. How does it work?
Basically, you review words at increasing time intervals. So maybe after a day, then 3 days, then a week, then 2 weeks.
So you're prompted to remember it just as you're about to forget it.
That's the idea. It actively forces your brain to retrieve the word, which strengthens the memory pathway and moves it into long-term storage. It combats that forgetting curve we talked about.
That sounds really smart. Less cramming, more strategic review.
Exactly. And for people who like writing things down, a vocabulary journal is fantastic.
Just a dedicated notebook.
Yep. Write the new word, the meaning, maybe draw a little picture, and definitely write your own example sentence.
Making it personal.
Right. That act of writing it out and having that physical record to review, it really helps solidify things.
Okay, what about more creative methods?
Yeah. Creating associations or even little stories, they can be totally silly. It doesn't matter.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, say you're learning the word giant. You could picture, I don't know, the giant juggling dictionaries.
Huh. Okay, that's memorable. The weirder the better, maybe.
Often, yes. Anything that makes a strong, unique connection in your mind.
Love it. And we mentioned pronunciation earlier. How to practice that?
Use the tools available. Online dictionaries often have audio playback, Google Translate, language apps. Listen to the correct pronunciation. Say it out loud, repeat it. Get comfortable with the sound and the feel of the word in your mouth.
It engages more senses, right? Auditory, kinesthetic.
Exactly. Multi-sensory learning. It really reinforces the memory.
Okay. One more simple one.
Labeling. Put sticky notes with English words on things around your house.
It's like refrigerator on the fridge. Door on the door.
Yep. It's passive exposure, but those little visual reminders throughout the day really add up. Constant reinforcement.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of great ideas. Flashcards, context, reading, listening, spaced repetition, journals, stories, pronunciation practice, labeling.
The key thing is you don't need to do all of them at once.
Right. Pick one or two that sound good to you.
Exactly. Find what resonates. Maybe start with flashcards and try writing sentences in a journal. Or focus on reading more and noting down new words.
And the main thing is consistency, yeah.
Absolutely. Consistency beats intensity every time. Small, regular efforts make the biggest difference. And you can combine methods, too.
Like using flashcards for the initial learning, then trying to use those words in a story you write.
Perfect example. The more angles you approach it from, the better it'll stick.
Okay, great. Shall we try a quick practical exercise? Put some of this into action?
Let's do it. A little interactive moment.
Okay, listeners, play along with us here. I'll give you a word. Take a second, think about what it means, and then try to make a simple sentence with it in your head. Ready? First word. Happy.
Okay, happy, meaning feeling good, joyful. My sentence, I am happy when I spend time with my family. What did you come up with?
Nice. Hope you all got one. Okay, next word. Run. Meaning, and it's a sentence for run.
Run, moving quickly on foot. My sentence, I run every morning to stay healthy. How about you?
Good one. All right, last one for this quick round. A slightly bigger word. Giant, meaning, and form a sentence.
Giant, meaning very, very large. My sentence, there's a giant tree in my backyard. Did you manage that one?
Fantastic. If you played along, great job. See how that little mental effort helps? You're actively retrieving and using the word.
Exactly. It starts to make that connection between knowing the word and actually using it, and you can do this yourself anytime.
Just pick a few words each day and try to make sentences.
Yep. Even just in your head, or say them out loud if you can, it makes a real difference.
Okay, so that brings us nicely into thinking about how to weave this into daily life, right? Not just steady time, but making it part of your routine.
That's the goal for long-term success, definitely, making it sustainable.
So how do we do that? What's a practical first step?
Start small. Like we said, maybe choose, just say, 3 to 5 new words each day.
Manageable.
Very. Write them in that vocabulary journal we talked about, meaning example sentence. That's your foundation for the day.
Okay, got my 5 words. Then what?
Then, the active part. Set a goal to actually use those words during the day.
In conversations. Emails. Texts.
Yep. Any chance you get. Even if it's just talking to yourself, practicing sentences internally. The point is to actively retrieve and use them.
Okay, active usage goal. What else?
Well, if you don't have many chances to speak English, try shadowing.
Remind us what that is again.
You listen to English audio, a podcast, a video, and you repeat what the speaker is saying, trying to match their rhythm and intonation.
Like echoing them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while you're doing it, you can consciously try to slip in your new vocabulary words where they fit. It's great for pronunciation and recall.
Cool technique. And what about just general immersion?
Super important. Little changes make a big difference. Switch your phone language to English.
Ooh, brave. Yeah.
Ah,
Watch movies or shows in English. Maybe start with subtitles in your language, then English subtitles, then none at all.
gradually increase the challenge.
Right. Read news articles, blogs, anything that interests you, but in English. Surround yourself with the language.
Creates that constant exposure, even passively.
Mm-hmm. And don't forget language learning apps. Duolingo, Memrise, Anki. Lots of good ones.
They make it feel more like a game, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, they can be really fun and interactive ways to practice vocabulary, often using spaced repetition, too. Great for fitting in practice during commutes or breaks.
Good tip. What about writing?
Journaling in English is fantastic. Just write about your day, your thoughts, maybe try writing short stories using your new words.
Forces you to actively use the language.
Exactly. It pulls those words out of passive storage and into active use. Really powerful for cementing them.
And connecting with others. Language buddies.
Definitely. Finding a language exchange partner or joining an online forum or group.
Gives you real-world practice.
Yeah, and motivation. You can practice writing, speaking, using your new words in actual communication. It makes it social.
That interaction helps a lot. And if you're shy about speaking,
Try recording yourself, just saying your new words, maybe using them in sentences. Then listen back.
check your pronunciation. Build confidence.
Both. It's a low-pressure way to practice speaking and get used to hearing yourself use the new vocabulary.
Okay, these are all really practical things people can actually do.
They are. And remember, the most important thing is consistency over perfection.
Don't try to do everything at once and get overwhelmed.
Exactly. Pick a few things that work for you. Even just 5 minutes of focused effort each day adds up enormously over time. Small steps.
Right. Don't get discouraged if you forget words sometimes. It happens.
It's totally normal. Just keep going, keep practicing, find ways to make it enjoyable. Every word you truly learn is progress.
Absolutely. It's about building that confidence and fluency bit by bit.
Well said. So just to wrap things up a bit, we've covered quite a bit today.
We have the importance of vocabulary, why it can be tricky to remember words.
Those common challenges like forgetting quickly or not being able to use words in context.
And then we dove into a whole toolbox of strategies, didn't we?
Yeah, from flashcards, digital and physical, maybe with pictures, to learning words and sentences.
Reading and listening widely, using spaced repetition.
Keeping a vocabulary journal, making silly associations, practicing pronunciation.
Even labeling stuff around the house. And we tried a little interactive practice too.
We did. And hopefully the main takeaway is that learning vocabulary doesn't have to be this, boring, difficult chore.
Right. With the right approach, consistent effort, it can actually be quite engaging. Rewarding even.
Absolutely. So the encouragement is start small, be consistent, find techniques you genuinely enjoy.
And have fun with it. Expanding your vocabulary is expanding your world, really.
Couldn't agree more. And hey, we'd love to hear from listeners too.
Oh, yeah. What works for you? Any favorite techniques we didn't mention?
Drop them in the comments. We can all learn from each other's experiences.
Definitely. Okay, so before we sign off, let's leave everyone with a final thought, something to chew on.
Okay. How about this? Think about just one of these techniques we discussed today. If you really committed to incorporating just that one thing into your daily routine for, say, the next month.
Which one thing, consistently.
Yeah, how might that actually shift your confidence, your understanding of English? What's one small, consistent action you could start, maybe even today?